Good, happy Saturday morning, October 24, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Saturday morning, so let's begin. First up, we begin with COVID-19 updates. Coronavirus in New Hampshire, important information and latest graphs. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that for all of you right now. There are 10,112 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 8,477,061 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 471 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 765 number of people have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 813 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. And now let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 103. And let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 2331. And now let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here, new cases each day in New Hampshire. In the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalization. And in the red, deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here, current cases. In the purple, total current COVID-19 cases. And in the orange, current hospitalization. Let's take a look at this chart here, total cases. In the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, total hospitalizations, red deaths, and blue recovered. Let's take a look at this chart here, positive PCR test rate and daily PCR tests. Let's take a look at this chart here, age group of cases, female and male of cases, and risk information. Let's take a look at this chart here, infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here, deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, difficult breathing, chills, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. New Hampshire health officials warn of possible COVID-19 exposure at 5 restaurants. Patrons of certain restaurants in Portsmouth, Concord, and Peterborough urged to watch for symptoms. Let's take a listen to that video from WR News 9.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota compact and subcompact tractors. Our reliable #1 selling tractor.
State health officials say customers may have been exposed to COVID-19 at 5 restaurants. In Portsmouth, the State Department of Health and Human Services says at least 4 people who tested positive visited the bar area of Daniel Street Tavern on October 9th, 14th, and 15th. That restaurant is currently closed. Not far from there, the Goat was open Friday evening after officials say at least one person who tested positive was there on October 15th.
There's no evidence right now that we're having a significant issue with transmission of COVID-19 in restaurants.
2 Concord restaurants with possible exposure were closed Friday night. At least 5 people with the virus may have exposed others at the Draft Sports Bar and Grill on October 9th, 11th, and 14th through 18th. At the Barley House, 2 visited the bar area on October 12th, 13th, 14th, and 16th.
We do expect that these types of exposures could happen more frequently whenever you have increasing transmission in the community.
And in Peterborough, Bantam Grill plans to reopen next week after one infectious person was in the bar area on October 13th. On Facebook, the restaurant says it's getting professionally cleaned and installing air purifiers.
If you suspect that you have the virus or you've been exposed to it, please stay home until you've tested out or self-isolated for a period of time. It's just so important, not only for the rest of the community, but for these businesses and these workers that are working in these establishments.
The state says other dates could be identified, but for now, anyone who went to those restaurants on those dates should watch for symptoms and get tested. Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Multiple injuries reported after fight at Concord homeless group camp. Concord police and fire and rescue teams assist two after a fight off Sheep Davis Road near Pembroke Road on Friday. Take a look at this photo from the scene. Concord police and fire assist at least two people injured during a fight at a homeless camp along the Sunnacook River. Concord police are investigating a fight with weapons and injuries Friday at a homeless camp on the eastern side of the city. Around 6:45 p.m., 911 received a call from a distraught person reporting at least two men fighting at a homeless camp off Sheep Davis Road. Several camps have been reported in the area along the Sunnacook River and in the area of the Slotier's Sand Pit in the southeastern part of the city, as well as between the Beckshrines Temple and Rhymes Oil. Firefighters staged at Regional Drive waiting to be called in by police while officers figured out what was going on, according to fire dispatch. Police dispatch stated one of the men involved in the fight requested police and, when pressed, admitted there were weapons involved, but there were not guns involved. The man reported both men were injured pretty badly. Dispatch warned one of the men was known to carry a knife. Several police officers heading to the area were expecting to be flagged down by one of the campers. Dispatch received a second report that the two men were out of the woods but still fighting. The fighting, however, was only verbal at that point, dispatch said. As officers arrived, the men were back in the woods and refused to come out of the woods, dispatch stated. You'll need to come into the woods to them, the dispatch said. Officers went into the woods trying to find the men. After finding them and leading them out of the woods, firefighters were called in from their staging area to the parking lot of Rhymes to assist with the injuries, including one man with an injury to the eye. At least one man was transported to Concord Hospital. And that is it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for watching this morning edition. I hope you all have a great rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.